Just a little red dot swimming in a sea of stars. Got the whole damn verse spinning around you with open arms. It's a race against time that plunges you deep into the black. What are you gonna do when the void stares back? You'll never stop the revolution. Time to begin your evolution. Take a leap of faith. You gotta break the illusion. You gotta make your own solution. Take a leap of faith. The future's just a void, jump away.
Greetings, humanity, and welcome once again to Channel Other Doc. I am Jim, I use he, him pronouns, and this is our Dark Matter campaign, Ghosts of Saltmaw. It feels like it's been several forevers, but we've returned, and we shall continue having mishaps in space. Let us go around and say hi to everybody. I am, in this, of course, I play Cole Hayden, human gunslinger. And let us go over to Anino. Hello.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anino. I use he, him pronouns, and for this Dark Matter campaign, I play Rekmara, the effervescent Aviara druid, who also uses he, him pronouns.
What I love is that last session you introduced him as effervescent, effervescent, and he absolutely was not until the end. By the end, it was true, and that was hysterical. But let us now go over to Cazimi. Hello.
Hi, I'm Cazimi. I'm playing. Who am I playing? I'm playing. Clangswell Nunu Fritz Holds Bottom Thunderstruck, the space gnome who uses they them pronouns. I'm Cazimi. I use she her pronouns.
Awesome.
And apparently Google thinks I'm Kissimmee.
Yes. Is that in Florida? I forget.
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right. That's it's good to know. It's as you might have noticed, we're trying out new captioning software. In this case, what we're doing, and when I say captioning software, I mean we're attempting to hijack Google Meet for this and see what and see if we can sort of shape it into that which we desire. And thus far, it seems to be going all right. But let us, or at least as well as the other captions did. I think it might be slightly more accurate actually, but I might be guessing at that. Let us, we'll find out. Let's move on to May. Hello.
Hi everybody, my name is May. I will be playing Lasness Chain Tower, the Star Dwarf Paladin. We both use she, her pronouns. Glad to be back.
Yay. Awesome. And now over to Mem. Hello.
Hello, I'm Mem. I will be playing Narita Galeen, the Nautilid Witch. We both use she, her pronouns.
Excellent. And now finally, we shall hand things over to our illustrious station master, Alyssa. Hello.
Hello, and welcome back. My name is Alyssa, she, her pronouns, and I play everybody else. So, as with most games on this channel, we'll be using safety tools such as the X card, the N card, and the O card. So, if at any point we're crossing into territory that crosses a line for anybody and we don't want to have it in the game at all, they can type an X in the Zoom chat, make an X symbol, we'll stop, rewind, add a dash of retcon, and it never happened. If we're kind of towing that line and it's okay to have the subject in the game, but you don't want a graphic description, that's where the N comes into play. You can type an N in the chat, finger spell, or what have you. We will pan to the fake fireplace, fade to black, and just move on. And if you're getting into intense roleplay and you just want to proactively let everybody know that you're okay to pile on the drama, that's where the O comes into play. And if you feel like you want to check in with other people and think maybe that was a little too much and you just want to make sure, that's where the O with the question mark comes in, and then we can all respond as needed and go from there. So previously on Ghosts of Saltmaw, having traveled to the menagerie to deliver a renegade arachnahorse and helped their friend Oceanus earn a promotion to full seeker by rescuing a Nautilid VIP. Excuse me. The crew returned to business as usual at Saltmaw Station. While Cole took a moment to catch up with Sergeant Lee Watson, Rekmara spent some downtime meditating on the elusive mayfly known as the Obelisk. Through his connection with a shard of that mysterious force, he learned that another fragment was located somewhere on the galactic frontier, but traveling toward the Maw network at a steady pace. After an effervescent conversation with 5-0, the chief of the Sepulchre Knights at Saltmaw Station, whose responses were partly in common and partly in the equally bubbly language of the amoeboids, our dutiful knight Lasness spent time filing mission reports and training her nanites in the flight simulator, practicing loop-de-loops to her heart's content. Fritz, on the other hand, took that time to work on designs for a new gadget, and Narita continued studying the books she'd taken from Asteroid Abbey, while Ted tried his hand at using the new fabricator to make pickle-flavored rainbow noodles.
Can you do that?
Returned,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Apparently. Cole returned from his errands with news of the military's new jump dust trials going terribly, sometimes fatally awry, and with the agreement of Mawkeeper Iota, the freelancers arranged to investigate the situation as a neutral third party. They learned from the chief medical officer, Dr. Sora Wu, that one of the unfortunate test subjects had turned up in her morgue with traces of illicit substances in his bloodstream. But with the Likshay garrison doing its best to keep the incident under wraps, she was unable to determine a connection between the various subjects or why so many of them were jumping to the same location on the galactic frontier. Using star charts that Iota had discreetly transferred to their ship, the crew struck out into the wild yonder, making their first jump beyond the safety of the Maw network. That first jump was followed by another, and another, until Rekmara realized that their path was about to converge with the obelisk shard he had located previously, which was now no longer moving. They emerged from the void to find a disabled merchant ship floating dead in space, with the name Emperor painted on the side. And, as evidenced by the giant bite out of its hull, something had tried to make charcuterie out of the ship. And that's where we pick up tonight.
That's a delight. Can I just, first off, just wanted to mention thank you so much, Matapot Studios, for the raid, and thank you, Celeste, for the sub. Celeste Shepard. That's awesome. Yay! Awesome. Sorry.
Yes. Thank you. Welcome. Now, before we dive in, let me just say, all of you, since we have multiple converging storylines, everyone take an inspiration die if you don't already have it. At some point in the future, you may cash it in to roll with advantage.
I wonder where I should put inspiration on this, on, on this Excel sheet.
What do I
I'll
do
put
if
it
I
under
already have
deity.
it? Do I get extra inspirations if I already had the other inspirations, which I got
Sure,
previously?
why not?
Cool. Got 2 inspirations.
It's raining inspiration.
We're gonna need it.
I get the feeling.
Yeah.
So, Rekmara, I believe, was on his way to suit up to board the vessel. What is everybody else doing?
If I recall correctly, Fritz was going to make sure that we had the nuke it from orbit option ready and available, but was also we had done a scan for life signs, and as I recall, we hadn't come up with anything, but Fritz is going to be manning the scanner situation in the short term.
Okay. Your scanners can tell you that most of the systems are down or operating on auxiliary backup power. It is difficult to determine if there are any life signs on board. You've never
Actually,
encountered a Vect, so it's hard to say what their life signs
right.
show up as.
Right, and that's one of the things that we had previously been doing a little bit of research on, but that would be specifically what Fritz is trying to do, knowing that that's not something that Fritz knows how to do.
Right. You might be able to detect some small power signatures coming from the ship, so something is still active.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on that, but obviously I won't be able to do much about it until someone actually gets over to the ship.
Okay. Make sure I pull up the stats for your ship in case you do need to nuke it from orbit. I can tell you what you have available. You do have an umbilicus, so you can actually connect to the ship's docking bay, like an airplane going up to the ramp. Or you could attempt to shuttle through the hull breach, but it may not be quite that big.
I'd recommend using the parts of the ship that are still intact, if at all possible, to connect.
That might be preferable.
But then we'll be stuck to it. What if something bad happens?
Oh, I can take off in no time.
Just leave it behind.
Well, there is that.
So, who all is going to board the vessel and who is staying with Unum?
I think Fritz staying with Unum makes the most sense. As long as we've got comms connections, I'll be able to relay other information from the sensors as I'm able to get it.
Yeah, your comms will still reach from the other ship.
There's nowhere to run off of the ship, so Narita's gonna stay with Unum.
Lastness will go topside.
Yeah, I'll go in.
Okay. Director Mara says, "Psych, I'm staying here."
He's trying a new druidic tactic.
Reverse psychology. Feint. Bluffing. I'll shut up now.
Rekmar is actually going to cast a Zone of Atmosphere on his sun staff. He's going to use a ritual to do it.
Okay. So Rikmara takes 10 minutes and casts the Zone of Atmosphere spell. So as long as everyone stays within 30 feet of the druid, you can breathe. Should anything go awry with your life suits.
It always goes awry. It never goes a pumpernickel. I think I just lost my inspiration point.
What a waste.
Close.
What a waste of an
I don't know,
inspiration
maybe you
point.
should get
Up on.
extra. I did say something made charcuterie of the ship.
Yay!
Oh, look, we're out of time. No, sorry, go ahead.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
All right.
Rekmar's going to
So-
walk by Narita and just say, "Why aren't you sitting up?"
Narita's got a bowl of the space pickle noodles, if you will. Have to finish eating first.
You
Are we
had
really
10
gonna
whole minutes.
You had 10 whole minutes.
Look, if you only had 10 minutes to eat these noodles, you wouldn't be done either. Just wanders off.
Fred comes along and makes sure he has affixed his badge to his chest with extra duct tape. Vent tape. And holds up a pack of gum, offering it to the crew. It's the same pack of gum that says Iris's antivirus on it.
I'll pass, thank you.
Wait a minute, which
Whatever,
one is
dude.
Fred?
Ted, sorry.
Ted, okay.
The robot.
Wait, what?
Ted, not the parrot.
Okay, I was
Robot.
like, that's unusual. He's wearing a
I'll-
badge of some kind?
Yeah, he's got a little a coin with 3 eyes stamped on it. So he's like affixed it with some extra sticky stuff.
Ensign Ted, I'll have it later.
He tucks it back into his utility belt.
How do you even get that stuff?
Does it matter?
Lesness, you may or may not remember encountering another crew at the Spacers Guild, and there was an astrogator named Gavesha whose call sign is Iris.
I do remember that person. I'm just trying to pull up my notes about that. No, that's too far back. Yeah, I do remember that person. But they're not here.
No, she is not.
But apparently some of her stuff is.
Wait a minute. I've seen this name before. Why is her stuff here? And then she like fills them in on like her super cool friends that she met that like really didn't help her at all, but she's totally not picking up on that.
Ted beeps and boops, and Narita's translator would pick it up if she was here. Fritz's work in progress translator picks up some of it, and basically Ted says it was a gift.
We have come to the time in the program when Jim is going to ask you to help him remember something from several sessions ago.
Yes.
So, as I recall, if I just want to make sure I've got this right. Is Lasness talking about the same people that Cole attempted to and failed to make contact with in that bar, or is this somebody else?
They were in the bar that you went to when you were attempting to dig up information about the history of the vessel formerly known as Space Ghost. Yes.
Right. Okay.
I don't know if you interact. I don't think you actually tried to interact them. You just sort of made eye contact across the bar.
I think I noticed them, and I was trying to, and then I realized that I was not. I was not giving off the right vibes to be able to.
Right. Yeah. And Fritz came in later and put a tracker on one of them, and then was able to direct Lasness to the Spacers Guild where they were staying.
I see.
So yes, it's that same rival adventure crew.
So, what generally is what sort of information is Lasness giving us about them?
Oh, she got nothing out of them.
Not really. Just that they had been hired to escort their patron on some sort of object retrieval mission.
So, Ted, when you say this was a gift, was it actively given to you, or did you happen to pick it up? It's okay. The answer's okay. I just want to know.
He says the lady with 3 eyes handed it to him at the Temple of the Chosen.
Fritz immediately scans the pack of gum for anything other than gum, like a tracker.
There's no tracker in it.
Fritz immediately scans the software antivirus that Ted was busy putting into the computer to see whether or not there is a tracker in it. Fritz is now paranoid and will alternate between scanning the disabled ship with the big chomp taken out of it and scanning for anybody incoming. Okay. Because Fritz is now convinced somebody is going to be following.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean there isn't a rival adventure party out to steal your bounty.
Right?
Wait a minute. I'm starting to get some weird vibes about this. I don't think we can trust them.
Well, you never did find out who their patron was.
Right.
Yeah. I think those are folks who sometimes hang out in that one dive that whose name Jim can't currently remember.
The Empty Night.
The Empty Night. Oh, there it is. Okay.
So named because if you piss off the bartender, he will shove you out the airlock into the Empty Night.
I thought not getting my soup was bad enough.
The soup of emptiness.
That sounds like a crossover from Invisible Sun.
It could be. I should probably write that down.
Sort of like that apple you ate last time that was
Yes, that's true.
full of...
Empty space. Nothingness. An apple of nothingness.
With an eclair of
What color is this dye?
malcontent.
Wasn't there also going to be a thing where we did this cool little CGI thing of looking at the ship and then the specs for this ship that we get through scanning and then the specs that we had
yes.
for the...
Would you like me to tell you the specs of the ship that Fritz's scanner can pick up right now?
Why, yes.
That
Why
would
not
be
tell us
awesome.
the specs of the ship that Fritz is scanning that we can pick up right now?
Fritz is scanning the ship. It is a merchant-class vessel. Its armor rating is 13. If it had not had a bite taken out of it, it would have approximately 50 mega hit points and 16 power shield, as opposed to yours, which is 6. It had a dark matter class 3 engine, impulse engines 3,000 feet, maneuverability 90. It had an arcane cannon, communications, life support, sensors, shield generator, and a shuttle. It is also outfitted to have had some defense drones. Whether or not they are still present or perhaps deployed in its recent encounter with whatever took a bite out of it. And interesting to note, it also has a panic drive. That's extra.
Was
What
the
is a
panic drive
panic drive?
used? Ah, crap. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Hard to say from your own ship. You could possibly have someone check the logs when they get on board.
I will suggest to anyone going on board that once they are able to make any kind of comm link into the other ship, I will take a look at the logs to see if I can find out anything. But what is a panic drive? Fritz would know, but I don't.
A panic drive means that your ship's dark matter engine has been heavily customized with a secondary arcane engine to pump energy into the core for faster but more erratic charging times. So when the engineer programs in a void jump to charge the engine, they can then use their action to panic jump the dark matter drive. Basically, it lets you jump a little faster.
And it sounds like with less preparation and
Yes.
less likelihood of knowing where you're going.
Yes, there is always that chance. But it is a get the hell out of Dodge button.
Yeah, ACK button. Got it.
So yeah, lots of interesting things to scope out once you get on board the ship. So Fritz, I know your tech rolls are usually pretty high. Lasness has been practicing piloting maneuvers, so I'm not even really going to make you roll to connect with the other ship. You just do that, no problem. So you can board whenever you're ready.
Bye-bye, boys. Have fun storming the castle.
Brief weapon preparation montage.
Okay. Cole gets all his weapons locked and loaded. Rick Morale has cast Zone of Atmosphere. Lesness, any last minute prep? Okay.
So, out of curiosity, is our transition music foreboding or upbeat and exciting or
It would be... It would probably be a little bit foreboding with undercurrents of anticipation. It might be effervescent. Rick Morale is the most upbeat you've ever seen him.
I'm actually slightly disturbed by that, really.
It's
Cole
very
is slightly
strange.
worried.
The ship's interior is dimly lit by intermittent flickers of emergency lights along the walls and floorboards. They're not really boards, just, there's a path that is vaguely marked.
That's right.
It's not completely dark yet. I mean, sometimes there are actual boards on these ships, so I just wanted to clarify.
Floorboards?
Are there any arcane terminals or computer inputs around?
There is in the shuttle bay. There's probably like a panel on the wall next to the door that goes into the main part of the ship. The ship is listing slightly toward the port side, so the floor is kind of at an incline, but it's not going to like prohibit your progress really. There are bits of debris floating around because the gravity is off.
Okay.
And one of the life pods seems to be missing as you're kind of scanning for the control panel for the door that will let you into the rest of the ship. But aside from the doors leading into the cabins on either side of the docking bay do appear to be intact, so there's access panels that you can use to activate them. There is emergency power, but aside from the heavy click of your own mag boots on your life suits, the ship is pretty quiet.
Station Master, can we pull up a schematic of the place using any of the control panels that we can see?
Yes, you can.
Fritz could even do an overlay and send it through the comms pad if you want.
That'd be awesome.
Rekmara is going to try speaking to the ship computer using the shard of the obelisk that he has.
Okay. You attempt to communicate with the ship's computer, and you get static blue static.
Well, that's unfortunate. I think the first item on our agenda should be to try to restore power to the ship and see if we can access the ship's systems before we start exploring around.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Let me see here. I'm actually going to start taking a look at anything that might be nearby, terminals or anything. And I'm going to just kind of like send pictures back to. I figure, it's like we've got, I just sort of, if whatever my wrist thing has on it that can, take pictures or whatever. I'm just going to use that to, my wrist comm is, I'm going to use that to send pictures back so that Fritz can see what we're looking at.
Sure.
While that's going on, I'm going to continue to look over the schematics and maps that Fritz was able to give us.
Okay.
To start figuring out where the engine room is. I'm sorry.
I have pre-loaded a map. If anytime Jim wants to flip over.
Ah, yes. Which
show
of
you
the,
what you're looking at.
Which layer would you like? You gave me 3 layers.
The main deck.
Okay. And ta-da! There it is. For the viewers,
So
at least. I realize none of us can see it, but there.
Yes. I can also probably drop it into chat and or Discord.
Sorry. So did we actually appear on the main deck, or are we on another section?
You're on the main deck, in area number 1. It's listed as the main deck, but area number 1 is basically the docking bay and life pods and such. So you have the doors to the fore and aft heading into areas 2 and 3, and a small lift door, which is marked as area 7.
Okay. Well, I think the walking order should be Lasnus first, Cole second, and me third. So Rekmarad's going to cast another spell. He's going to cast Protection from Energy on Lasnus.
Okay.
Thanks, Lasness says, and she summons her nano weapon to become her rocket hammer, and she lightly taps the top of it on top of her helm and shoulders it, and then starts walking off.
Wait, dumb question. Are we level 5 or level 6?
I believe you're level 5.
Okay.
I'm 5.
Yeah, I have us at 5.
I just wanted to be sure, because I don't remember if I updated that on my spreadsheet. But okay, so that basically means that Lasnus can absorb up to 30 points of damage from the elements: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or earth.
Okay. Good to know.
Thunder? Why is thunder a energy? Whatever. Okay.
They wanted to find a cool way of saying sound, I think.
Okay. By the way, Lasnus, do you have another weapon?
not. I have 2 spears, and I've got the rocket hammer that I'm allowed to also turn into an axe. I think we talked about that, right? Listen. Okay. Phew. Phew. Yes, I can say that with full confidence. Yes. I can also
Okay.
have a
So
blade.
you have a spear. Good.
Yes.
Okay. So which direction are you heading, Lasness? Front or back?
Let's make our way to the stern.
Okay.
That's where the stairs are, it looks like, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Not that you can see them yet because there's a door sealing off section 2.
But there is a plan map that suggests that they might be there that Fritz sent over.
Yes, this is true. This is true. There is an alternate means of going up or down other than the lift, which is currently non-functional. So you head to section 2. The door's not locked, so you can get it open. The room, it looks like it has been trashed. It had some lousy guests in there, perhaps. It looks like somebody's personal cabin. The drawers and their contents have been scattered around the room. There's a metallic altar sitting in a recess in the far wall, above which hovers a purple rectangular prism. The prism rotates on a diagonal axis, and every so often, the image folds in on the prism folds in on itself before transforming into a new shape and then shifting back to its rectangular form.
But how many fireplaces?
There's a staircase going down from the southeast corner, and between you and the shrine, there's no fireplace.
About to be thrown into one.
There's no fireplace
We're gonna open a
this
new.
time.
I was to say we're gonna open a new bar in your honor called the Fake Fireplace.
Go for it. What you do with your retirement money is totally up to you. If you live that long. So between you and the shrine, a single task automaton spins wildly among the debris, its limbs flailing wildly as it spreads the mass further about the room, apparently engaged in a losing battle with an amorphous mass of inorganic matter. So there's a Roomba fighting a blob of something.
Not a dust bunny.
Could be dust, could be something else.
I'm assuming Lasness won't breathe it in.
No,
Do you have your life suit on, right?
Yes. Dunk, turn it on.
Last disengages her helmet. Air
Rekmara's
filtration on.
Yeah, Rekmara's going to cast, point out his hand and cast a Sacred Flame targeting the blob.
Okay.
Hadouken.
Dexterity save. Lasdis, you might know what this swarm, this blob of things is, because you have worked with nanites before.
She gives them a closer look and pulls up her scanner for her HUD. And it totally comes up like Sailor Mercury's, with the earring and everything.
Mhm.
It's fantastic. Can I give them more information than just that they're a nanite swarm?
Yes, your hut display comes up with a little block that says nanite swarm, large ooze.
Guys, it's a swarm of nanites, and they got acidy ooze burny stuff. I don't recommend getting too close. For you! She gets ready to fight.
Rekmarad just looks at Cole and just shrugs, and he's just going he's just going to hold put his hand on Cole's rifle and just be like, let's just let her deal with it.
The good news is it doesn't actually have acid, but it likes to recycle and reconstitute things. And it can self-repair.
See, my people back in the day, she says, she pauses and turns to look at them. We used to call them portobellos. Because they're the bottom feeders of the nanite natural world. And that makes them, fun guys. They like to party.
Do you just make mushroom puns?
Nanite mushroom puns.
By the way, did I do any damage to it, that blob?
The
that's a good
blob.
question.
I should roll for it now that I have its stats in front of me. That is a 14 dex save. What's your DC?
It's 15.
Okay, so roll your damage.
It is 2d8 now that I am level 5, and that's a 5 and a 7, so 12 points of damage.
Okay. And that is radiant damage.
Yes.
It takes the full radiant damage.
Crud.
And we're going to go ahead and roll for initiative. Because now you have its attention.
How big is the Roomba thing?
The Roomba. Let me call that up as well. Automatons. To remember which category everything is under. It's a medium-sized construct, so about as big as you.
So not really.
That is of perfect noble stature.
So
I got
Fritz
a
would
7.
like to also, Fritz would also like to roll initiative, but will actually probably go last in a round remotely based on what Fritz hears,
Absolutely.
mostly from the being able to yell something useful or useless.
Yes.
Okay.
So I rolled a 19. Man, I like these dice. They're actually nice to me.
Which ones are you rolling tonight?
My whiskey dice.
Nice. I got a 7.
14.
All right. Fritz, what did you get?
Whoops. Rolled an 8, but I will still plan to go last.
Okay. Fair. And Narita?
I forgot what thing I was in, so muting didn't work. 5.
Okay.
Well, isn't Narita still on the ship? So
I am.
Yes, she is. So she'll be after Fritz. All right, Rekmara, you are up first.
Rekmara is going to point his sun staff at the nanites, and he's just going to attempt to speak to them.
Okay.
Please separate yourselves from the Roomba.
It seems to have left off fighting the Roomba and turned its attention to you. You don't get a response, so you're not quite sure whether it understood you or not. But it certainly understood the fact that you just blasted it with radiation.
All right. Well,
It is not technically a construct.
I will I will then blast it with another round of Sacred Flame.
Okay. This time it's a total of 20 on its dex save. So it's gonna be a miss with your Hadouken. It was ready for you this time. And it goes next. And it turns away from you and back toward the Roomba, which still looks like it's kind of flailing around. But unfortunately, the Roomba is flailing so much that Nanite Swarm can't quite get hold of it. So, fortunately or unfortunately, that is the end of its turn. And Cole is up next.
Okay, quick question. This
Yes.
is a swarm of nanites?
It is.
Okay. So this means I need to use my plasma launcher on it. So that is the thing that happens.
Yes.
So
This swarm of nanites is larger than the Roomba and larger than you.
Ah, okay. That should make
There's
it.
a lot of them. A
Yeah,
lot of them.
That should make it easier to hit.
Yes.
So with any luck. So yeah, I'm just going to level the plasma launcher. Let me see here. I'm just trying to remember how to play my character.
It's only been 2 weeks.
It's been 3.
Oh, has it?
It has. But let me see here.
See, we've forgotten how to count too.
Yes, we have. Okay. Yeah, since I'm having to use okay, I just most of the things actually has to do with the calculations after the roll, so we're just going to do this. Here we go.
Take your time.
Okay, so first shot. I get an extra attack, by the way, also at 5th level, just so you'll know. So
Yes,
I will get to
excellent.
do that as well. So first
High
attack.
five, second attack club member.
Yay! So yeah, first attack is a 21.
On the nanite swarm, yeah, that will hit.
Okay.
It will also exceed its armor class.
You know what the funny part
By a
about
lot.
this? Yeah, you know what the funny part about that is as I've been rereading the abilities, that only applies when I'm using a one-handed weapon.
Okay.
So
okay,
yeah,
good.
so that's the blaster, the repeater, yes, but the unfortunately with the
Okay.
plasma launcher it doesn't work.
Okay.
Also, because I've got to keep using the plasma launcher if this is like a swarm of creatures, then I can't overcharge it because I got to use it next turn. So for this one, I'm just gonna roll these paltry 2d6, and they come out to 6 fire blaster explosive heat damage. And then I will go ahead and probably attack again, presuming I'm going to presume that isn't going to take it out. So,
No, it is not.
all right. And so let's see. Here we go. Next one. Next shot. Second shot is also a 21. Strangely enough. And damage on that is also 6. These dice are only capable of rolling. My d20 is only capable of rolling a 14. My dice are only capable of rolling a 1 and a 5.
Okay.
So a total of 12 damage for those 2 attacks.
Okay.
And I take cover. if possible. I think there's a nice staircase in there if I'm looking at the schematics correctly.
There is. You can duck over to that staircase.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Lasness, you're up next.
Think you're on mute, Lasness.
Okay, well, doesn't matter anyway because I did a huge swing and a miss, I think. I rolled an 8.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is going to miss.
I hope everyone feels cooled by the draft that I just created. But I can still take my extra attack, right?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Okay.
Maybe you'll catch it on the backswing.
Yeah. First one was just for gauging. Well, it improved. I'll tell you that much. It's a 9.
Not quite enough. You miss it by about this much.
I'm still getting used to the gravity. Still getting used to it.
Yeah, your rocket hammer is not quite as heavy as it ought to be.
maybe I've just done too many sets and like my muscles are just too much for this lower level gravity, you know?
Rekmara sort of just eye rolls at Cole.
He's like, oh yeah, great strategy. Yeah.
Okay. So that is going to bring us to the single task automaton, aka Sweepy. The Roomba. And it is finally going to attempt to coordinate its efforts and stop flailing around. It's going to attempt to clean up this nanite swarm. It's a big job, but someone's got to do it. It rolls a natural 20. Can't really see. This is a see-through die. Anyway, it rolls a natural 20. So it crits with its broom and dustpan. So it's going to do... it only does 4 points of damage with the first swing. It does get to make 2 more attacks. The second one is a 14, and that's a hit. This time it does 6 points. And the third swing is a miss. That brings us around to Fritz.
Fritz is going to do an ultra fast search of the vast database that it has stored on the ship. Going with those inimitable search terms, nanite ooze containment.
Okay.
We'll see how long it takes to get a response back that I can yell anything useful.
Okay. So Unum can call up some information pretty quickly. And text scrolls on the screen. Swarms of nanobots, each individually too small to be seen with the naked eye, behave almost exactly like classical oozes. Nanite swarms crawl and spread, dissolving metal and absorbing biological matter with impunity. The main difference lies in their intelligence. Nanite swarms make use of complex neural networks that give them immense computational power, despite individual nanites being relatively simplistic. Thanks to this, nanite swarms are capable of understanding and following instructions, which usually prevents them from consuming things they shouldn't. However, this one appears to be malfunctioning. Either that, or the Roomba's malfunctioning, since the nanites seem to be attempting to consume the Roomba, and vice versa. You're not really sure which is out of order.
Sorry, Fritz knows what they're going to search next turn as
Yes.
that comes up, but we'll wait until we get there.
Yes. Nanites are typically stored in little vials, very small, but this one appears to have consumed some stuff and grown larger.
That's why it's a problem.
Narita, if there's anything you would like to do besides continuing to attempt to eat your familiar's cooking, now's the chance.
Narita sends her well wishes. Good luck.
All right.
Roll to ingest.
Right, Mara? I could make you roll a Constitution save, but I won't because we have other more important things to worry about right now. So, Rek Mara, we're back at the top of round 2. You're up.
I am. What am I going to do next? Rekmar is just going to level his sun staff in fire.
Okay.
$12.
12 just hits.
And writing it down.
Well, you're going to miss anyway.
Aw, thank you.
So that's 2d6. I rolled a 2 and a 5. So 7 points of damage.
The nanite swarm appears to be breaking down somewhat. It's having trouble holding itself together and it's getting a little bit smaller. So it might be more easy to contain, but its turn comes next. And it is going to spend a resource point, some of the material it used, some of the material it has consumed, to repair itself. It does repair itself a little. It regains 6 hit points. And Cole is up next.
Okay. Once again, we're going to play the same symphony as we did before. And here we go. So first attack. Okay, I think I need to switch dice because that was also a 21.
Okay.
This die is only rolling 14s. I don't know why.
I mean, it's up to you. If you want to gamble, or if you want the sure bet.
It's fair. Okay. This time though, I did 11 damage.
Okay.
And next attack. I'll tell you what. I'll go ahead and roll this same die again, just to see if it's a 14.
I'll tell you what. The first one is going to disable the nanite swarm. So if you would like to hold that next attack,
I'll hold
or
that next
choose
attack.
a new target.
I shall hold off then.
I mean, you can continue firing, but it's going to be overkill.
Just out of sheer rage. No, we're good.
It's not like we ever called you effervescent, though.
No, that cannot be said of Cole.
Lasnis, that brings us to your turn. The automaton still seems to be malfunctioning. It keeps attacking anything in its reach. It's rage cleaning.
Can I flip it on its back or something?
Certainly try.
Okay. I want to use my rocket hammer to give me extra distance to kind of like knock it over on its back. Just like...
Okay.
Oh my. There are many expletives that I can say. but it's not my channel. I got a 3.
Okay.
You can swear if you need to. It's okay.
No, I think I'll just rage clean.
Okay, that's fine.
That brings us to the Roomba's turn. And Sweepy still has 3 targets that need to be cleaned up because Lesness has a dirty, dirty mouth.
Where's that Orbit's chewing gum? Ted! Ted!
That's right. Wasn't Ted coming with us, or is that? Or is Ted staying on the
Lesness, if you look around, you realize Ted has followed you, but he has remained outside of the room.
I literally expected Ted to bring dice to this and just be rolling dice while we're fighting.
Ted holds out the gum.
I'm all out of chewing gum, and I'm not kicking ass.
Probably because you didn't accept the chewing gum. You should have finished it before you got here.
I'm going for it now.
The Roomba is going to attack Cole.
Oh man. You see, I'm over by the staircase, which is harder for Roombas to get under, I'm sure.
Yes, it cannot it can't quite reach you. There's a little bit of a railing around the hole in the floor that just...
So just gonna keep bumping up against it? Is that what's gonna happen?
Yes. It can't quite get at you. It only rolls an 8. So that's gonna be but it will try. It will keep trying. It gets 2 more attacks.
Oh great.
That's a 5. And the third one's a 15.
What is my armor class these days? That probably hits, but let me find out. Oh, that was the right number. Yes, 15 was what he was looking for.
It's just flailing, and then it gets lucky. It deals you 9 points of slashing damage.
Ow.
Must have caught the edge of that dustpan.
It's razor sharp.
Indeed.
He's sharpened that dustpan for a point.
Why that is, but there is definitely a sharp edge or corner on there. And Lesness.
Ready to fail.
Well, actually, after the Roomba is Fritz, if Fritz wants to do anything else.
Fritz is going to try to communicate with Ted real briefly.
Okay.
Ted, is your gum actually antivirus? If so, throw a piece at the Roomba. Actually, don't make any decisions. Just throw some gum at the Roomba.
What good's that gonna do?
It's either going to be an antivirus, and it will somehow magically, and you know that Fritz says magically with quotation marks, magically affect the programming that has gone wonky in the Roomba.
Well, it's magic, but you have to activate the spell.
Well, then activate the spell. Do you know it?
I don't have a mouth.
spell.
You gotta chew the gum and then you gotta stick it on the console.
Okay, so I just blast it to everybody. Take a piece of the gum, chew it, and stick it on the Roomba.
What did you just say?
Gum, chew, stick it on the Roomba.
Lastness is already doing it, but she's complaining that it tastes like chew high, and she doesn't like that. Oh no, sorry, fruity jute.
Wizard on a budget. You work with what you got. So, while that is happening, Narita, are you still enjoying your meal?
Narita was never enjoying this meal, let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
That was never part of it. But Narita has finally finished it. Sitting down with some indigestion. Gonna come on the ship soon.
Okay, are you enjoying the play-by-play?
She is.
from your Wizmo familiar, because your universal translator can understand him now.
Yeah. So yes, I'm enjoying that he had something that could have helped this entire time. It's just been like outside the door, just going like.
He tried to help.
Poor Ted.
Anyway, that brings us back to Rekmara.
So is this is Sweepy within range, like melee range now?
The room is only I mean, the room is small enough that you could get within melee range if you want to be. Sweepy is over there by the stairs, kind of poking at Cole.
By the stairs, you say?
Yes.
Okay, because I was pretty much standing next to Cole while all of the blasting and fighting was going on, so
okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
It is within reach of you.
Okay. It's because I wanted to do twofer with the Sun Staff. I wanted to blast it and then follow up with the melee.
Yes. Absolutely.
And maybe knock it down the stairs while I'm at it.
You can certainly try.
I rolled a 15 for the Sun Staff.
Okay.
That's,
15 will hit.
Okay. That's a 6 and 2, so 8 points of damage from that.
8 points?
Yes. And then
Okay.
I'll follow up with a sweep of the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Which is 11, so I think that's a miss.
Yeah, 11 miss. And then Cole.
And now the dangerous part, because I'm going to have to tuck and roll backwards in order to be able to shoot at this thing. So I'm going to try to do that. Basically, Cole's going to try to using the staircase to the best advantage he can. He's going to tuck and roll back to try to get a little bit of ways from the Roomba so that he can get a clear shot.
Okay. Okay.
So do I need to roll anything for that, or can I get out of its way?
If you are moving out of its reach, it will get an opportunity attack.
That was why I was wondering
otherwise-
about the basically doing like an acrobatics or something to try to avoid that.
You can use an action to disengage, but then you won't be able to attack this round.
This is true.
Unless you have a level in Rogue.
I do not. Okay, so it doesn't. Okay, so the tumbling out of the way thing no longer exists in this edition. I take it.
Unfortunately not.
Oh, okay. Well, then in that case, now if I attempt to shoot it point blank, will it still also get a free attack on me, or is that also been
No,
like
if you
the
shoot it
decision?
point blank, you can it won't be able to try and attack you. It won't get a free shot at you, but ranged attacks at melee are at disadvantage.
Ah, okay. All right, I gotcha. All right, time to switch to the antimatter dagger then, because that seems to be the easiest way, which is thankfully a finesse weapon. So I'll do that basically quickly. With the I have the quick draw, so I'm gonna go ahead and swap that out for the antimatter dagger and try to just basically try to bury the dagger in its sternum or whatever. Actually, is this actually shaped like a Roomba? Is this like a low flat thing, or is it a?
It's more like a tall round thing. It's like a trash can on wheels.
Okay. All right. That being the case, I'm going to try to I'm going to try to hit it in its pride, wherever it has that located.
Okay.
And that is a 10. That's going to miss.
Yes. Your target number is 13.
Yep. And that's all I can. Well, no, wait. Wait a minute. I can still attack twice with it.
You still have your extra attack.
I still have the extra attack. Let's go ahead and use that. Stab again. And that's much better. Okay, so that is a 19, which unfortunately is not a crit for me because it's not a firearm. So that's actually going to be, that's a 19 plus 7, so that's more than that. Wait a minute. I didn't even add the freaking thing. I don't know how to do this again. No, I did before. So yes, I'm sorry. So 26 is the actual number that came out. Who knows?
Yes, 26 definitely hits and exceeds its armor class significantly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, once again, that's only useful with a ranged weapon. Still no worries.
Yeah, that's true.
Here we go.
But you hit it. You hit it hard.
Yes, for a total of 5 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. You do damage and sort of crumble a section of this little trash receptacle. Its little garbage can lid falls in. Roomba's sad now.
Oh. Well, I feel bad. I gave it the sadness. Oh.
Its mouth is hanging open.
I have an idea.
Yes?
Ted, I think we found your mount.
Ted mimes a lasso. Either that or he's trying to do, like, Gangnam Style.
It really could be anything. It's dead.
I don't know. Can't we take it with us?
If you can repair it, you can take it with you.
Not while it's trying to kill you.
It's now Lasness's turn.
And Lasness has magic gum.
I do. So all I have to do is just chew it and then try to stick it on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I am furiously chewing on my fruity jute.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do my best to stick it on it as I tumble past it.
Okay.
It's hard to tell when Lasness tumbles, but she really does, I swear.
Make an attack roll to see if you can connect with it on your way past.
Okay. Ooh, 19?
Yes. You do.
I did a thing!
You stick a wad of chewed gum
I am
on
the
that
greatest.
Roomba. This is everything I wanted.
She totally lands in like a 3-point move past it, super stylized, low shot. She looks back.
And Fritz is all like, "Okay, Ted, now what?"
Now the antivirus spell will take effect, and I can tell you what that does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to say anything, right?
No.
No, you did the chewing.
The gum has been enchanted with the antivirus spell. So all you have to do is chew the gum and stick it on whatever you want to protect. The gum dissolves and is consumed by the spell. So you don't have to worry about that sticky gunk residue under your desk or what have you. And it will ward a device that you touch from digital interlopers. For the duration, the device can't be disabled by magical effects such as technical difficulties or logic bomb spells, and it can't be infected by the N virus. Additionally, creatures have disadvantage on intelligence data checks made to hack this device. And Unum can, in fact, give you all the details of what the antivirus spell does. Unum is currently protected by an antivirus spell.
That would make sense.
This piece of bubblegum on this Roomba will last you for 24 hours. Unum has an antivirus module installed, so it just works all the time, unless somebody disables your antivirus module. So the Roomba finally gets its shit together and calms down and begins cleaning the room properly. It sweeps up the disabled nanites and goes about its business. And it is a construct, so Rick Mara, you might notice that it pauses to say thank you on its way out of the room.
Oh.
Sorry for the damage.
Can that thing tell us what happened?
Yes,
Wait,
Come again?
Well, yeah, it's sort of looking over at it. If it does it speak?
It does not speak in common. It does have a like digital construct language.
Okay.
Only cool. Rick Mara can understand it.
And we can find out from it what happened.
I don't think it's that smart.
We give us something.
Its sole purpose and task is to clean.
It does one thing. It has one job. Single task automaton. It is.
Anyways, we'll probably find out more information downstairs. So let's just now that we finished fighting cleaning equipment, maybe we can discover more.
Yes.
Interesting things.
Before you head downstairs, Rick Mara, that is a shrine of the obelisk over there in the corner. And this is where we're going to take our break.
I'm sorry, a shrine or a shard?
Both.
Oh. Just here? Well.
It is.
Yep. There appears to be an actual shard of the obelisk hovering above that shrine.
Nice.
Okay, well, I'll go snatch it when we come back.
Excellent. All right, folks. Well, we'll be back in just a few minutes. We're going to go to break. We're going to throw an interview up there, and we'll see you shortly. Hey, folks. Welcome to the break. I am here with Summer, who's going to talk to us about some of the games that she's been putting out. I'm very excited to hear about these. You've got quite a few that you're starting to put together. Well, three is many to me. I can tell you that, especially considering how much time and effort they take. So why don't we talk about some of these? One that I actually have played is Futurity. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that one first?
Yeah, Futurity is a game that was heavily inspired by Sacha Renault's Spindle Wheel, which is a game where you use tarot cards to make decisions, a completely diceless game. And Futurity uses a pack of normal cards and a tarot deck. And essentially, it is a prompt game where you ask questions about the future, you are presented with a problem, and you ask your fellow oracles to give you predictions of the future. And then you immediately find out what actually came to pass based on the cards. So you draw a prompt card, a confusion, as they're called in the game, which is just a short prompt, a couple of words, and you tell the group about an event in your life, your past or your present, that you have confusion around, and then you ask a question about the future. You choose another oracle or yourself to draw a tarot card, prompting an answer to your question, and they tell you what the future might hold. And then it comes back to you, the one who asked the question, and you tell everybody what actually came to pass, using some things that they might have said or completely disregarding everything that they told you in their vision. It's a prompt improv heavy game that tends to dig deep into personal journeys, weaving webs with other people, and can span anywhere from a couple of years to thousands. I've had games that have crossed galaxies and realms, where I had an oracle who died and became the stars, and then her girlfriend also followed her into the stars, and then they joined the Queen of Swords realm. Like, just it can go just about anywhere that you can think. That's where the game can take you. And it's one of, I mean, obviously I only have 3 games, but I feel very proud of Futurity for giving you the ability to kind of stretch your improv muscles a little bit and your creativity muscles, because it really comes back to the players and what kind of stories you're interested in telling.
Yeah, I think it's perfect for that kind of thing, because just it's like you get to kind of decide how long you want to go, and you pretty much just it's very organic, just sort of based on the story in and of itself builds on itself, that you're setting up, and you can either keep your particular prophet story by themselves, or you can actually cross over. Mm-hmm. And get into other prophet stories, and I think it's really cool. It's very, very neat the way that you can go either way with that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, and it's a game that you can play by yourself or technically unlimited players. It's just kind of whoever you have on hand. Me and Katie have played a few games, just the 2 of us, and oh my gosh, with just 2 people, you can really tangle them up with each other in their lives, and it gets so sad. It's one of those games where you draw a card and you go, how dare this card show its face right now? It's always the card that you least want to see, but it's the most perfect for what you're doing. It's really, really fun.
Yes,
and
awesome.
It kind of, if you're interested in tarot, all of the tarot cards that come with the game also have the legitimate meanings or generalized meanings that most people have agreed upon when you're playing with tarot cards. So it can teach you really how to read tarot cards if you're interested. Just as a complete basic starter, obviously each set of tarot cards comes with their own specific meanings. If you know much about tarot, that is kind of imbued in the cards by the person who made them. So I would look into that, but it's a great place to start.
Absolutely, and that's also a very cool aspect. I'm actually planning on, hopefully, if I can get my schedule together, I'm planning on actually having a session of it for a one-shot here on this channel in April, I think.
Yeah.
If we got my schedule together right. So look for that. Excellent. Do you want to tell us a little bit about, in the time we have left, do you want to tell us a little bit about Knowing You?
Yeah, Knowing You is my crowning glory. It's my pride and joy. It's the first game I ever made. I released it last May or last July. And Knowing You is a 2-player game about the end of a relationship. You play 2 people who are no longer together, and you explore the relationship from the last time you ever saw each other back to the day that you first met. It's a prompt-based game. Each scene comes with 5 questions and a prompt based on who should answer and who should ask them first. And you take turns asking each other these really hard questions that do, if you've recently been through a breakup, I do not recommend it. But very real questions about why your relationship ended and the cracks along the way, back to how you fell in love and the things that you really enjoyed about each other. It's an incredibly bittersweet game. I always have big feelings playing it, and I almost always get choked up or teary. There are a couple of playthroughs that you can find. Dylan and I, Anarsis, played. You can find that if you just type in Knowing You Anarsis on YouTube, that's up. Grant and I played on Off the Table, off_the table. If you go back through our highlights, you can find it there. And then if you check out a Party of One Pod, Jeff and I also played. And that was probably one of my favorite games. Jeff really choked me up in like the first 15 minutes, which normally I get choked up in the middle, but he really got me good. It was a good game.
I listened to that one. It was really good. That's another game I'm hoping eventually to be brave enough to try. As I'm slowly trying to learn how to come out of my shell for certain games and deal with stuff together. It strikes me as a game that might be good for processing stuff that I have problems with in particular, so that might be good. And then do you want to tell us just real quick about the Flores?
Oh my god. Play the Flores if you just need a bullshit time. It is literally the Flores lava made into like a PBTA kind of like loose hack. You have some basic rules for just like screwing over the other kids. You line the battlefield with furniture, and you hop from piece to piece. You push people off. You can call your mom if somebody's too rowdy. It's meant to be kind of along the same silliness of like, I don't know, just like any one shot that you can think, like just to not have like a character you're attached to or anything like that. It's just to kind of goof around with some friends. And I wrote it for Kiana's dungeon couch jam. And I was like, oh, this is actually perfect for that. We also have a playthrough of that on Off the Table. And it was just so fun and so stupid. And so if you just need something quick to pick up and play, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
It was so good.
So stupid.
Watching that was so fun. Just especially seeing, if any of you have been on the channel, you've seen Matthias, who ran the Cold Ruins of Last Life campaign on this channel. Just go watch that actual play. He goes freaking crazy on it. It's delightful. But, well, where can folks find these games if they want to go check them out?
They can find them on my itch.io at Just a Summer Job. That's where I have all of my games available for purchase. And that's, I think I also have it maybe linked on my Twitter at Just a Summer Job, same name. So if you're interested in playing those games, they're all on itch. They're like a couple bucks. So awesome. I would check them out.
And were there any other parting words or other sort of links you want to leave for us here?
Go play my sad games. You'll heal, I promise. It's good. They're cathartic games. They seem, especially Knowing You, seems really scary. And I was honestly terrified to play it the first time. But after I got through it, I was like, oh, dope, chill. You are not left with bad feelings after knowing you. I will tell you that right now. You are left with bittersweet, kind of sad feelings, but nothing lingering. So just go be brave, play my games.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yay. All right, folks. Now toss things back over probably to me. And we'll see you later. Take care. We have returned. Hello. How have you been doing? Are you hydrated? Have you been hydrating? It's important, you know. So what's going on? We've got. I believe there was an altar that Rekmara was about to grab a thing from. Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
A shrine, I believe.
So Rekmara appears at the shrine and then glances at the shard of the obelisk. And he's going to take out his own shard and see if they magically connect together.
Okay.
As a side note, Fritz is very glad not to be on that ship with them because if the vibrations blow that ship up, Fritz is ready to take this one away.
Okay.
So.
As
Yeah,
yes.
Well, I think there's a question surrounding if just for Cole's purposes because of how he is. Granted, there was a lot going on, but did I happen to notice whether or not Rekmara seemed surprised to see this here?
He didn't. Yeah, Rekmara is actually surprised because he didn't expect it to be so easy to find it.
Okay.
In fact, if Rekmara had even poorer taste than, say, I don't know, Narita, he probably would just grab the shard and then go back to the ship.
That was an effervescent comment.
Says the man who just grabbed the branch and started the trees eating all of our asses. Never forget.
So now, once again, I'm trying to remember. Did we all see the other one that was picked up? I can't remember. That was picked up down below somewhere, or was that?
That was recovered from the Sovlogan world ship, or the Sovlogan fortress that they had taken over when their ship crashed on Chiron.
Right.
They were attempting to use it along with what remained of their dark matter engine to power some sort of ritual that they were being directed by an aboleth to perform, under the impression that it was their two-headed shark god, so it was definitely lying to them.
Yes.
Misleading them. So no one knows what it was trying to do, and no one really knows where they acquired this obelisk shard, except perhaps from a prisoner that they had previously captured.
Okay.
But yes, that is where you acquired this obelisk shard.
So.
Yeah. And there was like, I thought Narita had it. No, I thought so and so had it.
Yeah,
so it was like, and then Ted had it.
That's right. That's how the evolution happened.
And Ted was apparently hanging out near the engine, and the engine evolved.
So who knows what's happened to Rekmara in the meantime, right?
Has Rekmara evolved?
Well, yeah, he can talk to robots now.
That's true.
He became effervescent. That's what happened.
I think we're just going to wear that word out shortly. I don't know if we haven't already.
We might. He's very he's in a good mood today.
Yeah, which in and of itself is strange, but it's like.
But yes, Rekmara, when you bring out your shard, the one in your possession currently is a little bit larger than the one that's in the shrine. but when you bring it out and you kind of concentrate on the two of them, the one in the little levitation field above the shrine does move toward you and fuse with the shard in your hand.
Rekmarop winks at it, looks at it, and then starts laughing evilly.
Thank you for that adverb.
It starts off slow, but it starts turning into Sideshow Bob levels of laughter, as if he just won a election.
What's happening?
And then he just puts it back under his tunic and straightens himself out and says, "All right, shall we go to the basement?"
You gonna tell us anything about that?
In due time.
I think it's due time.
Yeah, I think the time is due.
Yeah, no, not right now. We have a ship to recover.
Okay.
Just sort of slowly, just kind of, just sort of looking back and forth, and just like. But yeah, I just sort of shake my head and just sort of like, yeah, okay. And just sort of looking at him warily and.
Narita uses the comms to like send Ted a message to keep an eye on Rekmarov.
He sends you the thumbs up emoji.
In Ted, that could mean anything.
I mean, he heard you.
Fair. He's gonna actually just like stick himself using the gum to Rekmarov.
Alright, so who is going downstairs first? Cole, are you gonna make Rekmarov walk in front of you? Or are you gonna put your back to him?
This is a great question.
Are you gonna make Lasness walk in front?
I mean, the order thus far has been for Lasness to walk in front.
Lasness, what are you doing?
but-
How do you feel about this whole situation?
I'm okay with walking in front as long as somebody's walking behind Rekmarov. And yeah, that laugh.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
I'm concerned
So
about.
Lasness goes downstairs first.
Yeah.
And Cole, you could bring up the rear. I mean,
Yeah, sure. I mean, however we want to work that. I can go first or last.
So we'll be heading down to the lower deck to area 11.
Okay, lower deck.
I have neglected to draw the stairs going up from this area, but it's there. And I have to scroll down to the appropriate section.
Ooh, that's a lot of rooms.
Yeah. Judging from the food replicator and stove along one wall of this room, this was the galley. Now the area is cluttered with floating debris. Knives and other cookware hang midair, and a large table leans precariously against a bulkhead, its legs flailing as it attempts to right itself in 0G. The stairway leads down in the opposite corner from the one you just descended.
So just to be clear, was a table attempting to move around?
Yes, that's right. There's an animated table.
Okay, good. Glad we made sure we heard that right. Is it like a mechanical table, or is it what?
It appears to have metal legs that have come loose from the floor. If they were bolted down at one point, they are not now. It has a wood butcher block top.
So wait, is there a mechanism by which it is being animated? Like, or is it like a table that someone has cast a spell upon, perhaps, to animate it?
It does not appear to have been built with spider legs or anything like that, but it is. So perhaps someone has cast a spell on it to animate it.
There's something you don't see every day.
I'm sorry, was it animated as in using magic?
Yes, it would appear so.
Rekmara is going to cast Dispel Magic on the table.
Okay.
Oh, good. I don't have to use any more gum then.
The table falls still and floats listlessly until it thunks against the wall.
Excellent.
This was a kitchen like type deal.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I guess we can probably look around a little bit and see if there's anything of import in here, but I doubt there's going to be much of import in this room necessarily.
Unless you're interested in some pots and pans or some high quality cooking knives.
Does our ship need a second food replicator?
Why would we need a sec?
Well, like, if that replicator breaks, then you can't make a replicator inside the replicator for the fixing of the old broken replicator.
2 words. Second breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if we want to take it as part of the salvage of this place, I mean, we can do that, I guess, if we were going to sell it off or something. I am going to, however, I will do the quick check around the various nooks where people would store things like, you know, the like booze, drugs, that kind of thing in a room like this.
Okay.
Just in case anyone has stored things like booze or drugs or anything like that in a room like this.
You you do find some very sparse sort of staples, but not nearly as much as you would find if this ship were inhabited by, say, a crew of your own size and species.
Yeah. We'd heard that this ship was piloted by a Vect, right? That
Yes,
was, yeah.
you had.
Yeah.
And you would probably know that the Vect do not need to eat, drink, or breathe.
Do they dream of electric sheep?
You could ask one.
I did. I should ask more, really. Get more information, data.
I'm just going to just sort of ask as a general question over the comms. How much of this crew do we think might have been automated, or might have been non-carbon based, shall we say?
Does Fritz have a guess?
Mechanical.
Fritz, from what you have been able to learn about the ship and its maiden voyage, the ship itself was fully automated. It was manned by a single crew member.
So one Vect, as far as I know, unless it picked somebody up on the way.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of supplies here. They've got a few staples though, so they were expecting to maybe have to serve somebody at some point.
Could be an add-on, yeah.
Interesting.
Have we been able to find where the power source is yet using the maps?
Yes, engineering is going to be all the way at the bottom of the ship, with the cargo hold.
Okay.
The bridge is upstairs across on the front side of the ship, across from the captain's cabin where you just came from.
All right, crew. Really got a real question here. Do we want to keep looking through this place bit by bit, or do we want to turn on the power supply or try to figure out how to turn it on?
Just be advised, if you head down to the lower deck toward the cargo hold and engineering, that is where the shark bite is.
Ah. Ow.
And
Backlaw.
it's been verified as a shark bite now?
Well,
We've all been
it's
assuming.
teeth.
Yeah.
You know, it was bitten. It doesn't look like blaster fire.
Yep.
You've all heard about space sharks.
So this
It's a working
bite.
assumption.
So this bite. Does it look like something bit into the ship and then swam through it? Or does it look like it sort of just took a bite out of the ship? But
Just took a bite and maybe ripped off a chunk.
well, I don't see what the big deal is, because odds are it's the shark couldn't bite a hole that it could then swim or float through. We just got to make sure that we don't get sucked out of the hole in the ship.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you'd think the pressure would have equalized by now, but.
And I've got your back out here. If it comes back, I'll give you plenty of warning.
Appreciate it. I don't know. I guess maybe. Sorry, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
No, I guess maybe it's probably be good to just keep on heading to just see what's left, if we can see what's left of the engines, and see if there's anything to power up.
Okay.
Then probably figure it out from there. Or at the very least, I guess we can just find out more about just the extent of the damage, I suppose. If you folks think that'd be a good starting point.
I'm all for turning on the power, and we move as a group together through it. So that's Lasness's decision.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is. It's not exactly a stairway so much as it is a hatch with a ladder that goes down from the kitchen to engineering.
Okay. Seems kind of weird to take the path to engineering through the galley, but
It may not be the only one, and it may not have been a galley originally. Remember, I think that it's been retrofitted.
I mean, the ship has been lost for several years.
fair.
Oh, I forgot to ask when you were upstairs. Did anybody else search the room? I think we pretty much headed downstairs fairly quickly.
Yeah, I think we were just all sort of just so distracted by Rekmara's reaction to the shard that I think we forgot to search the room.
That seems fair. So you can head down the hatch, or you could search the rest of the deck. It's up to you.
Well, let's head down.
Okay.
Jim's meta sense is tingling.
We'll go back on the way.
We're heading right for the boss monster, aren't we?
Lasness goes first.
Okay, Lasness, you go down the hatch. And it takes you straight into engineering, and then there are a set of doors which presumably lead to the cargo hold, because that is the side of the ship that had the lift.
Okay.
That would take things down from the docking bay.
Okay. Do I need to power the door to open, or can I just use my own hands?
That depends. If you want to get into the cargo hold, or if you want to hang out here in engineering and see if you can power things up.
Oh yeah, right. We're in engineering. I don't need to go into cargo yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is
so I'm gonna
like this slash out of a little chunk out of the side of the ship, but things have pressurized, so it's all just there's bits of debris floating around, like everywhere else.
Yeah.
It's are any power systems going? Sorry.
There is and it's kind of flickering, but there is like intermittent emergency power, so you might be able to stabilize it, but the ship is mostly dead.
The question that I had real quick is actually, we've been being kind of glib about pressure so far, but I just wanted to, as far as double check, just looking over the schematics that we have and the way things are set up, and this was a thought you put in my head when you talked about these big doors being sealed. Does the ship look like it had some sort of system whereby it would just sort of, are these like doors that would have automatically slammed shut to contain pressure, or
perhaps from the schematic, and Lasness can take a look around, and Fritz can take a glance at the layout and tell you the ship is capable of having an atmosphere and closing down emergency bulkheads to seal things off, but it was only piloted, as far as only piloted by a Vect, who would not necessarily need to have an atmosphere being generated.
Yeah. And I assume we did like a sort of, as part of like all of the tiny rudimentary things that one does in space, we did like a sort of a pressure comparison check thingy when we got in here, right?
As far as you know, There is no life support operating at the moment.
Right.
So you probably don't have to worry about explosive decompression or vacuum or anything like that.
Yeah. So I mean,
just don't take off your helmet unless you're
that would be
standing
bad.
next to Rekmara.
That's fair. Who told you need oxygen to survive? That's just something someone told you to make you feel small. Go ahead, take your helmet off.
Ted takes a roll of vent tape out of his tool belt. Just in case.
So this whole ship is already depressurized, so we don't have to worry about doors opening and flying out or anything like that.
Yeah, it's already depressurized. The gravity is off.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Presumably the room on the other side is equally vacant.
I will help Lesness looking around the engine room or wherever we are to ground engineering to making sure checking systems and stuff like that.
What would you like me to roll?
I would say tech.
Goody, proficiency in it, all the way to 5. This is my night.
You have an inspiration?
Can I help? Oh yeah, the inspiration.
I do.
Yes. Yeah.
I forgot about that. Thank you. A 3.
Jesus Christ. What are you... How are you rolling? Are you just placing it gently on the table?
Well, Lassus, engineering is not your forte.
Today.
Hey, Lasness, if you're having some trouble, you can show the little comm around. Maybe Fritz can give you a hand.
Hey, okay, so she pulls up her cell phone, and it's literally called a cell phone because they're stored in the nanite cells.
Yeah.
She just has to go like this, and it comes up. She says, "Okay, so I've got the camera on," and she flips it so that way she can show
Fritz.
Fritz. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Fritz. You see as Lasness pans the camera around, the damage is extensive. Besides there being a chunk out of the bulkhead that you can see stars through, when she points it at the engine, that dark matter crystal, that void crystal in the dark matter engine, is burned out.
Oh,
so
this isn't going much anywhere.
Panic drive was used after all, and it was just enough to get it here.
All right, I'll relay that.
What would cause
more or less than exactly? Yeah. So the get out of dodge button got hit, burned out the primary engine. Can I get Lasness to point it around a couple of places for me to take a look at the sublight stuff, the impulse type engine?
Sure. You might be able to get impulse power back, but it would be a lot of work. And
expensive.
Probably your best bet would be to get a tugboat out here to tow it back to the nearest small station.
Yeah, this is strictly salvage at this point. It doesn't look like this is going to be up and running at all under its own power. So, Okay, good idea for that. Can I point Lasness in the direction of any other power overrides, or is this a case of, all of the power has been used on the ship and it's basically just limping along on the last of its reserves?
You could probably point her to enough to maybe get some other like small systems running. But really it doesn't have much left.
All right. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much juice left in that tank, Lasness. It was a good try. Probably one of the reasons you were having so much difficulty with it is that there's just not much there to work with. So.
What worries me is what caused a Vite to panic, and why can't we find any log of it?
Well,
You
we
didn't
didn't
say
go
you were
to the
looking for a
bridge.
log.
Oh, that's a good point.
We'll go look for it, but while we're here, we might as well explore the cargo and see if they have anything good.
Yeah, we can take a look.
Okay.
Seems like a good idea.
All right.
Lasness will set off for that in the lead.
Yep, Lasness, you can get the cargo hold open. You kind of have to pull the doors open manually, but you got it. And then you can see some more damage to the bulkheads on the cargo bay side, and it looks like a pile of crates and debris have fallen up against like some of the damaged area. It's kind of listing toward that side, so it's on the port side mostly. But there is some cargo down here.
Excellent.
So go ahead and make a perception or investigation to see what you can find.
Can I just use my passive?
Oh, well, yeah. Yours is 16, right? Or higher?
17.
Like 17 now? Yeah, never mind. Rekmara, you immediately spot a metallic box. It's rather bulky and like flashy blue, titanium, whatever, this fancy metallic with the oil slick colors. It's got a monogram A on it. Super flashy. Super bulky.
Oh. This must have been a bad box at some point. And that looks important. Rekmara will point at it with his sun staff.
Yes?
How big is this box?
It might be a team lift.
Well, I'm more worried about the unwieldy because we don't have to worry about lifting it. There's no gravity.
Right.
We just push it.
It would be a little unwieldy for one person to manage it, but probably if two of you were to guide it, you could navigate it through the 0G more easily.
So yeah, I mean, if it looks like it's look like the standard sort of
kind of a sea chest size.
So I think anything that does it look like it's going to require a mechanism of some sort to get it open, or?
It is probably locked. It looks like a strong box, so there's probably some sort of lock.
Okay. We had, if I'm recalling correctly, did the last time we had this whole Fritz is the one who usually does like the lockpicking stuff. Is that right, or am I imagining
Yes.
that? Okay.
Usually.
So I figure we can probably just guide it back upstairs and deal with that.
Yeah, we
when
could.
We're ready to.
We could probably, if we can find some way to tear the lift out of the shaft, we could probably just float it up that way.
Ooh.
But we could check to see if the lift is operational.
Yeah. Good idea. Can we see the damage from here?
Yes.
The bite?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could see damage to the hull.
Is there any residue, like blood or teeth?
Teeth? Teeth would be good.
Not really. Just...
Well, that's disappointing.
Just like a big jagged. Is it? Where is the relative to what we're looking at here on the map? Where roughly? Where is the? Is it like roughly in the middle, basically,
Yeah.
the opening?
I thought it was port side of the cargo
Yeah.
hold, left side.
Yeah,
of the
it's
cargo
mostly on the port side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is our ship on the port side?
I think our ship is more on top, right?
Yeah. Your ship is docked somewhat above the damaged section, so you definitely got a good look at the bite marks when you
Okay.
sailed into that.
The reason why I'm asking is maybe we could just throw the thing out of the gap in the hull and let Fritz use
catch
some
it.
sort of catch it with a tractor beam or something.
Do you have a tractor beam?
I don't think we have a tractor beam, but we might have a net. We probably have a net or two.
Yeah, and you might be able to just like decouple and catch it.
I figured before we have to start doing math in space, let's perhaps just see if the lift is working and see if we can just get it up there.
Okay.
Before we have to start using
math-
the Pythagorean theorem to get the...
Math in space is the easy part.
You have someone who's good at that sort of thing.
I mean, fair, but, you know, if there's a simpler way to get it up.
If there's a way to get it up that involves destroying things, that's what Cole's all about. So.
Well, I mean that too, but you know that's that's only a bonus, really.
Well, let's go check to see if the lift is working.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I do have one more question. What does it look like they were hauling overall, as far as the rest of the crates and all that go?
It looks like mostly goods that could be easily traded to outposts on the frontier.
Okay. Supplies, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Supplies, tools, just basics. So you're heading to check the lift. Okay. The doors are closed. I am going to ask for a strength check to whomever would like to try to open them.
I'll give it a go.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. How about a 20? Not natural, but 20.
20 is good. 20. You pry the doors open easily.
Whoa.
They slide open. And there is a humanoid figure standing inside the elevator car. Metallic body. Sort of maybe looks like a sort of enamel or ceramic faceplate to make it look somewhat human.
Is it alive? Or sentient?
Yes. Well, it appears to be still at rest when you first open the doors. Like, you first glimpse it as the doors come open, and then when the doors come open, it steps forward. And that's where we're going to call the episode. We'll pick up in 2 weeks.
We're going to need more gum. Yay! Awesome. Excellent.
Trimaxion, my friend, I knew you'd come.
Very cool, very cool. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here. We'll go ahead and do our outros. Feel free to tell folks where they can find you and any favorite moments or anything else you want to shout out as final thoughts for this session. So we will start once again with our station master, Alyssa.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and thank you all for playing. I was so excited to finally get to this mission, because it has been waiting in the wings for so long. And I was really looking forward to dropping this cliffhanger. It was, I wasn't quite sure where you were going to go first, and how it played out kind of depended on where everybody went and what all happened, and it was just the perfect opportunity. So I'm excited to come back in a couple weeks and introduce you all to Trimaxion and find out what has been going on for these past 5-10 years or so. Yeah. Other than that, I'm excited to see what happens when the crew demands that Rek Mara explain himself and how he's gonna talk his way out of that one. And
Why do I have to talk my way out of anything?
Maybe you don't.
It's a shard of the obelisk. I am a druid of the obelisk.
Yeah.
Ergo, I have a right to the shards of the obelisk.
It's mine. I own it. It's his life's work.
We just want to make sure you're okay.
I've got forms to fill out, and also, yeah, we got to talk about that laugh.
Anyway, but yeah, it's it'll be fun to see what happens next time, and it's probably a good thing that at least a couple people stayed on the ship just in case something comes back to make charcuterie of you. But
that one just doesn't lose teeth.
It's still got bite.
Oh, look, we're ending the stream early.
Leave meeting.
No, you're made of meat. It's not interested. But now you know what could make a Vect panic, because the Vect is made of metal, and space sharks eat metal.
That is fair.
Uh-huh.
Alyssa, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Origami Shuriken. I have a blog on WordPress called Pancakes and Waffles, where I occasionally post TTRPG musings. And I have an Etsy shop called Shawl Tales, where you can find some of my yarn crafty fiber arts. But otherwise, I will be back here in 2 weeks for a continuation of our salvage job.
Yay! Awesome, awesome. And now let us head over to Mem.
Hey, I'm Mem. I forgot I'm supposed to say at this point.
Who are you? Where can we find you? What did you like about the session? Any shout outs for scenes?
You mostly find me here. Every now and then I might pop up my own stream on Twitch. Every now and then something on Twitter. Twitter is Uncertain Mem, but Twitch is Uncertain Memory. And maybe some other stuff in the future, but when that gets kind of pinned down, I'll let you know. Favorite moment was the Rek'Mara wild evil cackle. Don't know what that meant. Kind of don't want to know what it meant. Would like to live in ignorance, but I suppose at some point I'll probably figure that out.
I'd like to see a cackle off between the two of you.
Especially if it's an evil cackle, I think Rek'Mara is gonna nail it. But if it's just a cackle of glee, it might be me. Who knows? But had a good time as always. A little quieter today than usual, but hopefully in 2 weeks we'll be in better spirits and back to being slightly less effervescent than Rek'Mara.
Nice, excellent. All right, and over to May.
Hi, everybody. My name's May. This is pretty much the only place you can find me. It's also pretty much the only place you can find Nora. Nora had a lot of fun tonight because everybody got to look at her. She's looking forward to the next time that happens. I am too. I had a lot of fun tonight. Everything was fantastic. Alyssa, I could sense the joy in everything that you were saying, and that gave me so much joy. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Always a joy, and this was no exception. This was so great. But over to Cazimi.
Hi all, I'm Cazimi. I am here, except when I'm not. Right now I don't live anywhere else, so you'll see me again in 2 weeks. And I echo what other people have said. I love the evil cackle. I love the finding out the things. I love getting into the details of what today is, but I especially want to have a shout out because I actually love the new set layout we have with the rolling captions and all the work that Jim has done to kind of set us up in a new frame. And I love it. And I think it's awesome. So thank you so much.
Thank you too. Yeah, it's there was a bit of tech tomfoolery trying to figure it out, but it's looking like it's working pretty well. So that's very cool. Awesome. And finally, over to Anino.
Hey everyone, my name's Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. My next stream will probably be this Wednesday over on Utopia at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for another exciting edition of Kahania. Tonight was a good night for Rek'Mara. Look how happy he was.
It's time to come.
I'm sure he looks forward to attuning to his newly Voltroned shard of the obelisk. So, and finding out more about this strange Vect and see if he can open the box for them. Because, it's all about the money. That's it. That's all I got.
Awesome. Well, very, very cool. I will say that I think my favorite moment actually was it was I think it's tied. One was the cackle. That was great, but then also the bit with the chewing gum. I think that was just a delightful non sequitur that we got in there. Because I'm just imagining it's like we're just in the middle of a fight and we're hearing him chew the gum and put it on the road. It's like, what?
That is kind of emblematic of this team, though, right? The ridiculous thing that ends up being the thing that has to work.
This is true. Awesome.
I had so much fun crafting that item just for this party, specifically for Lasness. And I'm so glad I got to see her use it.
Nice. All right. Well, let's see. What else is left? Oh, I guess that it leaves me. Oh, yes. Before I give my goodbyes, I would also once again thanks to Jade Nebula for the artwork. Very, very, very wonderful. And once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. And I have links down below to my other various media. Let's see. This week, Thursday evening on this channel is we're going to embark on our short little campaign of Witch Hunt. We had our session 0 a couple weeks ago, and so we're going to be starting that. That is Spell the RPG, run by its creator, Taylor. And it's he's showcasing a yet to be released setting for it that'll be coming out sometime soon. That's basically it's a fantasy, sort of a historical fantasy set in Massachusetts, in sort of a place not too terribly far from Salem during the time of roughly the time of the witch trials. So it's an interesting thing that. We're all going to be playing spellcasters during that. We're all playing witches, so that's that I think is going to be very cool. Once again, this 1 week from today we will not be doing this. We'll do this 2 weeks from today, as already mentioned, and we'll come back and we shall play more Dark Matter. At some point relatively soon, I feel there shall be more stuff, sign-ups, things like that. There are more there is stuff I'll be doing on other channels sometime relatively soon that I cannot yet talk about, but perhaps soon. We shall see. Slowly trying to get the activity back up. We'll have to see how things go as we get further into recovery. When we hit the end card, I am going to send a raid over to Penny for a Tale. They have a Pathfinder 2e game that their campaign they have going, Age of Ashes. We're going to go over there and say hi to them. Feel free to hang on if you are so inclined and say hi to them with us. That again will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we'll catch you next time. Farewell.